All right, we know many dogs have incredible sense of smells, especially those who used to be in law enforcement or medicine. But what about a canine that can sniff out the creepy, crawly bed bugs? A Suncoast company is using dogs to find bed bugs, and it's part of their detection process. And the owner, Michael Levine, is here. All right, Michael, so you brought your dog Roxy, and I understand you have another one that's we're going to be introduced to later.
Correct. Henry will be doing a demonstration for us later on.
All right, so demonstration. This is a little bit unique. Dogs, bed bugs.
Dogs and bugs.
She's very calm. Roxy is, so we must not have bed bugs in the studio.
No.
To all of
Well,
us.
maybe she just got up, so maybe she found
She heard
something.
the words looking for
What does she do
Yeah,
when
tell
she
us
sees
about
bed
her.
bugs?
Well, so we'll do the demo for them in a few minutes down there. We'll just exactly be able to show
Don't look at me, Roxy.
precisely what
I
they
do
do when they have.
She's
coming
smelling
But how do you
something.
train them? Let's start with the training.
So,
how does a dog know
okay,
to find them?
Very good. So they were trained actually here in Florida.
Okay.
I met someone who then became my boss through a friend in 2010, and he sent me down to Safety Harbor, Florida, here, where Henry was being trained at the facility. He was there for, I don't know, a few months. I don't know the exact time frame. And I flew down, and we both got certified and, trained. And then
In bed bug detection.
In bed bug detection. Because he's been training dogs for 30 years for the
Okay.
police department, as you mentioned earlier, and mole dogs and termite dogs. There's a lot of dogs out there now being trained for different things.
Really?
Okay.
Bed bugs has become very large in the last decade or so.
That was my next question. How big of an issue is this?
It's
Because-
growing.
Okay.
It's growing. It's getting worse and worse. It's getting bigger down here, which is one of the reasons why we moved here about a year ago. New York is definitely a problem. And, tri-state as well. We did a lot of jobs out there. We did probably over 5,500 inspections up there.
Wow.
All right. Well,
with Henry and Roxy. Sorry.
well, are there certain areas in a house you target? I figure the bedroom, because that's where the bed is.
You would think that, believe it or not. It's always where you sleep. I don't know. I always tell this to everybody. It's an incorrect name, bed bugs. They used to be called traveling bugs. They travel with you. They stick onto a piece of clothes or something, and then they get, you go to a hotel, and then you, God forbid, bring one back home. So, and if you end up sleeping on your couch every night, they'll be couch bugs. They don't necessarily have to be. I've found them, unfortunately, in many different scary places.
Oh, no.
So they can be on wood. The only things they won't go on maybe is glass or stuff like that. But they're usually
So
found
everything but glass bugs.
near us. Yeah, exactly. Everything but glass bugs. They should be called. Yes.
Can you see them?
Yeah, the problem is when you only have one or two. We're not talking about a problem case, okay? We're talking about a hotel that found one and is looking and they don't see any others. They need to call us because we'll come in and we'll be able to do that room and tell them if there's even one small one hiding or an egg, which is almost microscopic, nearly impossible to see.
That's a good question. So where in the process, obviously if I see a bed bug, I know I have them, so I wouldn't need the dog. Where else would you bring the dog into the process?
Well, first, it's not so obvious because you may have found one in one room and then you look the rest of the house and you don't know if you have any more and in what rooms they're in. So if you have a few rooms in the house or whatever, you have, upstairs, downstairs. So we come in, I had this woman, she had a apartment upstairs where her son stayed, and then she had 2 floors in her house. So she was worried about hers because her son had them. So we knew he had them, but we had to go to her place and check her house, and she was good in almost all the rooms except one that her friend stayed in. So this is right. This is how it would start spreading. So for us to come in there with a dog, we can give you the areas now that have the issue. So then we can, in turn, send this over to the pest control guys, who, by the way, we target pest control companies. What that means is I'd rather work with a pest control guy because they utilize us as a tool in their belt, so to speak.
Okay.
Instead of sending a human down and getting only 30% accuracy
Yeah.
today, they can send in the dogs and they get 99% accuracy for inspections. And then we, in turn, send that back over to them to treat.
I think this concept is so amazing, but how did you get into this? Because it doesn't seem like a regular business to just think
No,
of.
she can smell bugs.
It's a funny story, but in short, I mean, I met one of my mutual friends introduced me to my boss, and he goes like, "You want to work for me?" I said, "What do you do?" He said, "I have a dog that finds bed bugs," and I laughed. And then he said, "Well, I'll send you to Florida, and he'll pay for the trip, and you bring a dog back." All I heard was Florida and a dog, and I was like, "Yeah, okay, I'm in." And it was scary and weird, at first, and we were thrown right into the fire because he was like, "Okay, go check this place," and I was like,
Well, speaking of the fire, we want to see how this whole thing works.
Yeah.
We want to throw your dog right in,
Yeah,
and we
sure.
want to see how
So
it
we'll
works
take care of
too.
Roxy,
Yeah,
and
hold
we'll
on
get to
to
meet
her
your other
second.
Roxy keeps
coworker.
pointing
You got
at
it.
me.
I
I'm
know.
gonna go in the room.
Linda.
It's exciting.
You might have something.
I think it's because you're so cute.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's a cute dog.
So now we get to
Bug
meet
bags
one
are
of
cute,
your
yeah.
other coworkers.
Yes. Well, yeah.
So
It looks like
Is that a
Ghostbusters.
uniform?
introduce who you've got with you.
Well, this is Henry. Henry's my little baby because he was my first dog, and he's been with me through thick and thin. And sorry, do I have that good? Okay.
Great. So I see you've got a big, it
tell
looks
us
like a
what's
fair,
that?
Okay,
a
so
ride behind
what
you.
we have here, the reason why I put the pouch on is because, this is where we keep the food. And what we have here is a little training wheel that we'll do at home every day just to keep him maintained and sharp and focused. In the wheel we have 6 arms. One of them will have dead bed bugs, one of them will have some carpet beetles, roaches, etc., some other things that you might find in a household. And what we'll want from Henry is basically for him to pass all the other ones and just keep reminding him to stop on the live bed bug one.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind stopping on the roaches. Personally.
Yeah, can we teach them that too?
Henry, what's that, buddy? Henry, seek. Henry, Henry, what's that, buddy?
It's
Henry.
like Duck, Duck, Goose.
Henry, seek. Henry, come on, seek. Henry, what's that, buddy? Henry, seek. Henry.
Oh.
What? Show. Yeah, good boy.
Right,
Henry, where? Show me. Good boy.
He points at
Where?
it.
Yes, good boy.
my.
Yes, good job.
Henry even
Good job,
pointed.
buddy. Yeah.
love it.
Good boy.
All right, well,
Very
you guys
good
can
job.
get more information about bed bug canine experts by going to their website. And next, helping out Jazz, we have some last-minute Father's Day gift ideas. We'll be right back.
That's amazing.